You might have heard people say, once you're able to scout for SYGNA Serena, you should start saving up your gems for Spring Burgh. And you might be wondering, why is that? Is Spring Burgh as good as what people say he is? Well, in this video, we are going to discuss about last year's spring seasonals and see if they're worth your gems or not. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe if you haven't. Let's do this! Yo yo yo! This is Sol, also known as SPL Gamma, also known as Spatial Gamma, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. Guys, in this video, we're going to discuss about Spring Burgh and Spring May and see if they are, as good as what I hype them. At least, I like to hype Spring Burgh and see if he's worth your gems or not. But before that, guys, if you're wondering, something's different about Sol today. It's probably because of this thing. I have been wanting to get this from the Pokemon Center for the longest time. This is actually a Scorbunny charm or something. It's probably not that visible in camera, but it's a Scorbunny charm, and finally, after waiting so long to get a discount, I finally got one. So I love it. Scorbunny, and I got a necklace to wear with it as well. So, we cannot exactly talk about Spring Burgh without talking about Spring May. Because, if normally when seasonal banners rerun, they rerun with their counterparts. So, let's talk about Spring May first. So, Spring May, we do not have an exact date yet until the data mine comes out. I figured that it will be better if I discuss this first before the data mine. Yes, I've discussed this before. When they are supposed, or when they were about to come out on April last year or sometime in March, but then those are just theory and less, practical use or something. So in this video, I will also be using them in battle. So stay tuned until the very end because I will be trying them out in battle so that you can see for yourselves what they're capable of. But Spring May is coming sometime in April, most likely, and this is what her banner image, or rather her, mindscape looks like. If you're able to scout for Spring May, well, if you're happy, she's happy. So that's that. And she's a very interesting sync pair. She starts off as a normal type sync pair, and after you use her sync move, she becomes a fighting type. Her attacks, her headbutt changes, and her passive skills also a little bit of change there. So she starts off with a headbutt, and headbutt has a 30% chance of making the opponent flinch. After you use her sync move, headbutt disappears and changes into X defense, or rather changes into move gauge boost, but let's not talk about that right now. X defense all, very rare for a striker, yes, she's a striker, to have support capabilities. So this is a striker that has X defense all. I think there are very few of them with support capabilities. One of the more notable ones is Classic Blue. Classic Blue has X, or rather Dire Hit All Plus, which you also do not exactly see in a striker, but she's a defensive striker with X Defense All. And once you Mega Evolve by using a sync move, your headbutt changes into, as I said earlier, move gauge boost, and your X Defense All changes into High Jump Kick. And High Jump Kick will be your primary attack move from there on. High Jump Kick is a low accuracy move, and if you miss, you receive 50% damage of your maximum HP. So miss 2 high jump kicks in a row and you're dead. But then, it's a very, very powerful fighting type move. 3 move gauge, unlike, you know, the other fighting type moves, which take up 4 move gauge. For example, Baze or Bees, Meteor... Impact? What? Meteor Assault, I think. And this one is a 3 move gauge attack only. So the problem you have here is that low accuracy. She has a pretty decent attack stat as well as speed stat. And once you're able to use your sync move, your solo fanfare passive skill just maximizes your attack stat. So your attack stat goes up +6. And unless your attack stat has been lowered to negative stats, you know, your attack move just goes to maximum there. Sync Morph changes your Heart Thumping normal impact to Heart Thumping fighting impact. So you start off with a normal type sync move, and that's probably the worst thing about Spring May, is that you have to use your sync move once first. If you're fighting against weak opponents, your first sync move is not gonna deal a lot of damage because it's a normal attack. And as you might know, no opponent is weak to normal type moves unless Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet changed that, and now that some opponents will be weak to normal types. In fact, I think in inverse battles, some Pokemon are weak to normal types, but there's no inverse battles in Pokemon Masters, so probably ignore that. So move gauge moves, as you might know, just charges your move gauge by 3. And then Headbutt, as I said, 30% chance of making the opponent flinch. Potion is Potion. And then there's Hippity Hoppity, which changes depending if you are Mega Evolved or not. If you're not Mega Evolved, once you use Hippity Hoppity, you get to raise everyone's speed stat +2. So as a striker, she can also raise everyone's speed stat. So again, if you have not Mega Evolved yet, you use Hippity Hoppity, your speed stat raises by 2 for everyone. And then it also raises your own evasiveness by 2. But after you use a sync move and you use Hippity Hoppity, instead of raising everyone's speed stat, instead it raises your own accuracy stat +1 and raises your own evasiveness +3. So if you're Mega Evolved, you're only raising your own stats, but if you haven't Mega Evolved yet, you're raising everyone's stats. So she has ramming speed on her grid, which the higher her speed stat is, the stronger her attacks are. So keep that in mind when you want to use Hippity Hoppity. But then remember also that you need an accuracy buff. If not, your high jump kick might miss, and you do not want to miss high jump kick because that's gonna kill you. And then guys, she also has passive skill Revenge Boost 5 as well as Propelling Strike 5 after you Mega Evolve. Revenge Boost 5, basically, if you get hit, you have a 60% chance of recovering or charging 1 move gauge. And then after Mega Evolution, get Propelling Strike 5, which 60% chance of charging your move gauge instead when you attack. So before Mega Evolution, when you receive damage, after Mega Evolution, when you attack the opponent. So a very interesting sync pair over here. For this one, she cannot raise her own critical hit rate, but if you have a sync pair that can help you raise your critical hit rate, Critical Strike 2 will be very good for her, because she hits hard and her attack stat is quite high as well. So in terms of her grid, 1 out of 5 she gets Lithe, you will not get paralyzed. 2 out of 5 you get MP refreshes for her things. You get Hippity Hoppity MP refresh, Move Gauge Boost MP refresh, Potion MP refresh, X Defense all MP refresh. Now 3 out of 5 you get Endurance. You get an endure effect when you enter the battle with full HP. HP advantage 3, the higher her HP is, the stronger her attacks are. So that applies to headbutt as well as high jump kick. Impatient 1, if you get hit by an attack, you have a 10 or rather 20% chance of reducing your sync move countdown. Propeller 1 is similar to Propulsion 1, except that if you use high jump kick or headbutt, you have a 20% chance of reducing your sync move countdown. And I've tried this, it's very nice, it triggers quite a lot, and you want this on your Spring main. And then as I said earlier, you also have ramming speed. The higher your speed stat is, the stronger your attacks are. And again, you can only raise your speed stat by using Hippity Hoppity before you Mega Evolve or before you use your first sync move using Spring May. So keep in mind when you use your Hippity Hoppity. But again, if you use up all your Hippity Hoppity before you Mega Evolve, you cannot raise your accuracy stat unless you have someone else to raise your accuracy stat. And then she has 4 sync nuke multiplier sync move tiles. 2 for normal impact and 2 for fighting impact. Normal impact, again, only has it before you use your first sync move, or rather, her normal impact eventually becomes fighting impact anyway. So I'd rather power up her fighting impact rather than normal impact for this one. So guys, that's Spring May. Again, sorry. Physical Striker, fighting type that is weak to fighting type, or rather normal type first that is weak to fighting type and remains the same weakness after Mega Evolution. High attack stat, average, not so bad defenses, and quite high speed. High jump kick hits hard, but you have to make sure that you have raised your accuracy somewhat, especially if the opponent has raised its own evasiveness stat, or else you'll die. Now, I'll showcase her later in Champion Stadium. But now, for the moment you've been waiting for, let's talk about Spring Burgh, guys. Anything that brings out the beauty in Bug-type Pokemon makes his heart flutter, even though Togepi is not a Bug-type. It's a Fairy-type support sync pair, and it's actually my favorite support in Pokemon Masters. People might disagree if I say that, for me, Spring Burgh is better than SYGNA Suit Blue. You might disagree, but in my opinion, at least, I love Spring Burgh better than SYGNA Suit Blue. I use Spring Burgh more than SYGNA Suit Blue. I use Spring Burgh to showcase new sync pairs. I use Spring Burgh for almost any difficult battle. In my opinion, he is one of the best, if not the best, supports in the game, just because of how good he's able to raise your own stats. So Happy Colors raises your accuracy, defense, and special defense. Dire Hit All Plus raises your critical hit rate. His passive skill, Team Supercharger 5, raises your attack and special attack. And Catalyst temporarily speeds up your move gauge. So the only stats that you're not able to raise are speed stat, permanent speed stat, and evasiveness. And that's all. There are very few sync pairs that can raise 6 stats. I think one of them is Eevee. Eevee can raise attack, special attack, defense, special defense, speed, and was it accuracy? Yes, accuracy. And Eevee cannot raise critical hit rate. Eevee cannot raise evasiveness. Meanwhile, Spring Burgh can raise attack, special attack, defense, special defense, critical hit rate, and accuracy stats, guys. So overall, Happy Colors, a little bit of RNG here, but Happy Colors, if you're lucky, can raise everyone's defense and special defense to +6 with 2 uses of Happy Colors. Because it raises your defense and special defense randomly between +1 to +3 for everyone. So for example, you have Spring Burgh plus 2 other sync pairs. For Spring Burgh, it could be +1. For the other 2, it could be +2 or +3. So it's random for everyone. And then, you know what Dire Hit All Plus already is. Metronome is a 1-move gauge attack. So Metronome, quite a slow animation attack. It first wiggles its finger, and then after wiggling its finger, you get to use 1 of 19 attacks at random. Now, as you might know, there are 18 different types in Pokemon Masters. In Pokemon in general, you got normal, fire, water, grass. I do not want to enumerate everything. You have 18 types. You have 1 attack per type, like Tri-Attack. I think it's Fire Blast, or was it Flamethrower? I think it's Fire Blast. I forgot. You have Surf. You have... There are too many. Shadow Ball. You have Play Rough and something. And then you have the 19th attack, which I have never seen happen in my game even after almost 1 year. And that attack is a 1-hit KO attack called Fissure. Fissure is a very low accuracy move and has a tiny, super tiny chance of appearing. So tiny that I have never seen it. But if it hits, it one-shots the opponent. And this has been demonstrated in YouTube by some people, and it was able to one-shot legendary arena opponents, at least 1 bar of HP. So, by using Metronome, you are using a 3-move gauge attack. Every single one of them, except Fissure, is 3-move gauge, with just using 1-move gauge. And every time you use Metronome, because of how slow the animation is, it charges, or at least the time required to use Metronome, charges your move gauge by 2 because of the time that elapses. So if you have move gauge problems, Spring Burgh helps you, just use your moves quickly because Metronome is slow. And yeah, technically 1 move gauge to use 3 move gauge strong attacks is a win for me. And Team Supercharger 5, one of the better passive skills out there, every single time you use Metronome and you have successfully attacked the opponent, you have a 60% chance of raising everyone's attack stat or special attack stat, or both. To the point that if you're able to trigger this 6 times, you have a chance of maximizing everyone's attack and special attack stats with just 1 move gauge attack. So you're able to maximize everyone's defenses quickly, especially if you have a Happy Colors MP refresh. You're able to somehow raise your attack and special attack stats quite fast as well. And then healing super hit. If you're able to hit an opponent using a move that they're weak against, you have a 20% chance, or rather, you recover 20% HP. So the chances of hitting the opponent is not that big, but if you're able to hit the opponent if they're fighting weak opponents, you use Focus Blast, you hit the opponent, you recover 20% HP. And in his Sync Grid, he also gets a 2 out of 5 Team Healing Super Hit 9, which if you are able to hit the opponent using a move that they're weak to, you recover everyone's HP by 20% as well, meaning you recover 40% with Spring Burgh and 20% with everyone else. So very good sync pair. And for lucky skills, we have received quite a lot of new lucky skills. Personally, I have Vigilance on him. Because yes, he has Vigilance on his grid, but I feel that there are better tiles in his grid. But if you decide to give Vigilance to him, in his sync grid, you might want to go for status immunity or interference immunity instead. Or Revenge Boost 4 so that when you get hit, you have a 50% chance of charging your move gauge by 1. So at 1 out of 5 in his grid, you get Clear-Headed, prevents you from going confused. Dar Hit All MP Refresh 2, which you don't need. Stalwart, special defense cannot be lowered. Unbending, defense cannot be lowered. Steady Aim, critical hit rate cannot be lowered. 2 out of 5, you get Critical Strike 1, which if you land a critical hit, stronger damage. I feel that there are better tiles. Happy Colors MP Refresh 2, highly recommend this one. Very, very highly recommend this one. Potion Master Healer, Potion MP Refresh. Team Grand Entry raises everyone's special attack by 1 at the start of the battle. You can decide to go for this or technically just ignore it because of Team Supercharger 5 already being able to raise your special attack stat and attack stat. Team Healing Super Hit, again, if you're able to hit the opponent using a move that they're weak to, you get to recover HP for everyone. And again, there's Vigilance. But he has so many tiles that I had to separate 3 out of 5. You get another Potion Master Healer 1, you get another Potion MP Refresh 2. Stamina Reserve 6 charges your move gauge by 6 when you're low on HP. Super Countdown 9 if you're able to hit an opponent using an attack that they're weak to. You get to lower your move gauge countdown by 1. Super Duper Effective 2 and Super Duper Effective 3 powers up your attacks if the opponent is weak to them. Not really recommend these 2 tiles. Team Fierce Entry charges your attack, or rather raises your attack, and Team Grand Entry raises your special attack at the start of battle, and 2 Sync Nuke tiles. So again, that's for Spring Burgh, and with his capabilities, with his maximum, defensive buffs, and the chances of raising maximum attack stats in just very few turns, with the 1 move gauge requirement of Metronome and the slow animation of Metronome, plus the ability to raise everyone's critical hit rate, as well as the ability to recover everyone using Potion, as well as if you are able to land a super effective attack on the opponent, makes Spring Burgh an amazing sync pair. And in fact, I wanna showcase him in battle, as I said. So, this is all just theory as I say it. It's much better if I demonstrate in battle. So with that said, alright guys, here we go. Now, I'm using, how do I set up my parameters? I'd probably go for a random mix of strength and HP parameters just to extend this battle a little bit longer. And we can go for this as well as this. 2,000 points. And for my team, I'm using Spring Burgh, Spring May, and a sync pair that quite a lot of you have also skipped because another sync pair was in sync pair Scout when her time was here. But I'd highly recommend Classic Elessa because she's like the best debuffer in the game right now. Spring Burgh over here, I have these tiles. Potion Master Healer, 2 Potion MP Refreshes, Team Healing Super Hit to recover everyone's HP by 20% if I am able to hit the opponent with an attack that they're weak against. And the most important thing is Happy Colors MP Refresh 2, which you can play with this one. If you do not get the MP Refresh, you can probably restart the battle and try to aim for an MP Refresh. And then, Spring May, I have HP advantage 3. The higher my HP is, the stronger my attacks are. Ramming speed, the higher my speed is, the stronger my attacks are. And remember that you can only raise her speed stat by using Hippity Hoppity before she uses her sync move. And Classic Elessa over here, not really that important in this showcase, but we got Shock Factor 1 and Thunder Shock Staggering 1. And in terms of lucky skills, I have Vigilance on Spring Burgh, even though he can get Vigilance on his grid, but I did not get it. We have Critical Strike 2 on Spring May, and we have Defense Crush 2. And with that said, let's just get to the battles and see how good they are. I hope that, you know, you're able to... These battles will somehow convince you probably to scout for Spring Burgh. So I'm gonna use them. Hippity Hoppity. I'm going to use Happy Colors. I'm gonna use X Defense All because it will disappear later. Another Happy Colors. And let me speed up the battle. Alright. Am I able to raise my defense stats to maximum? There's an MP refresh there. Now we want to use a sync move very quickly using Spring May because that's the way to power up. That's the way to get high jump kick. Now I got high jump kick. High jump kick. Oh, I should probably have used one Hippity Hoppity first so that my accuracy will be increased even more. But we're able to hit it. And I did not use Hippity Hoppity again. But we still attack. So now I'm gonna use Spring Burgh to use the sync move. Stop lowering my defense. Yes, he gets some sync grid tiles to prevent the lowering of defenses. But you know, there are better sync grid tiles. Alright, we recovered some HP. Let's use high jump kick. Let's use a max lightning.
Beautiful.
And Propeller 1 in action. It's like propulsion except that you have to hit the opponent. We'll probably faint from crunch. Ooh, it's not a critical. It's pretty sad. Oh, we survived. Awesome. We're not able to land an attack that the opponent is weak to, but that's fine. 6,000 damage. Can you flinch? Nope.
No, I refuse to be squashed. Go for it.
She's probably gone. Can we clutch this with evasiveness? Oh! Oh, the opponent uses sync move first. Okay, let's see what happens. It was a sad non-critical hit thing. Nice. Evasiveness clutch, question mark? Can we evade this? Nice! Evasiveness clutch, guys. Kaboom! And that's Spring May.
That sure was a fun battle.
Alright. Next battle. Let's reset this. Now let's go for Marshall. Weak to fairy types. Which Spring Burgh is, at least for the sync move. But then aside from the sync move, it's random.
Victory will be ours.
Speaking of Spring Seasonals, I wonder who the Spring Seasonals is. The teaser event is already out, guys. So let's use X Defense All. Let's use Happy Colors. Thunder Shock. Headbutt. Okay, that's sad because we're not able to raise defenses quite a lot.
Here goes.
So let's just do that instead. Let's transform into fighting type.
Beautiful.
High jump kick, or rather, mega kick sash. How much damage will that do? Recover. High jump kick. Metronome. Uh-oh. Oh guys. We might faint. As you might know, Spring May is weak to fighting type moves. You just realized that. We might faint from this one. Okay. We did not. Awesome. That's a fairy type sync move. That's probably attack the sides.
Yes.
This is max lightning. Propeller 1.
Yes.
Alright, let's use a sync move again. Can you flinch? Nice. Alright, this is awesome. Sparkle and Shine keeps giving me an MP refresh, and I love it. Because that lowers my sync move countdown.
Here goes. You can do it.
And that keeps giving me an MP refresh, and I love it also.
Yes.
Come on, can you at least show me a fairy type move? Play rough or something. Alright, we're able to use another sync move. Flinch. No flinch. The opponent's probably dead in the center. Left and right, I'm not too sure. Nope, not yet dead. Let's kill off one side. Flinch. It has an endure status. Oh, we missed. Very sad. But as you might see, guys, we have never missed a single high jump kick because of our accuracy buff. So if you're worried about using high jump kick, it's not that big of an issue. Not that big. As long as you're able to raise your accuracy stats. As long as the opponent does not use X evasion all. don't have to really worry about missing any high jump kicks, so probably not die from missing. So that's that. Everyone survived this time. Let's move on to the next one. So reset. Let's go Shauntal. Shauntal, quite irritating with Will-O-Wisp. Let's see if we can somehow evade that Will-O-Wisp if she uses it.
I shall be your opponent.
Alright. I'm gonna use one Hippity Hoppity, Happy Colors, and again a Nuzzle.
I'm gonna give it my all.
Alright. Nice. An MP refresh there. Which means we can increase our speed stat even more. Thundershock can make the opponent flinch, so hopefully we make it flinch by the time it uses... Oh, another MP refresh, awesome. By the time it starts, it decides to use Will-O-Wisp. Nice, a flinch. Alright. Let's use a sync move. Ooh.
Here goes.
The pain. Alright. I jump kick.
Here goes.
Flinch, opponent. Flinch. I do not wanna be burned. No burning, okay? No burning. No burning. No burning. No burning. No burning. No. No burning. Make it flinch. Uh-oh. Oh no. Well, there it is. Everyone's burned. Ah, this is irritating. Alright, let's use a sync move. Let's use a hippity hoppity. Let's use a max move. We have to deal with this now. Good thing we have potion.
I'm gonna give it my all.
Here goes.
Oh boy, heat wave.
Go for it. Gorgeous. Please.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Here goes.
I've got this. Go for it.
This is a confusing one.
Here goes.
Take this. You can do it.
All right.
I've got this.
Can we, if we are able to survive this one, I'll be extremely pleased.
All right.
Go for it.
Ah, it's not a critical.
Go for it.
Yes.
Play rough. Not the time I wanted play rough.
Go for it.
Can you flinch? Well, we lost.
Time to self-reflect. You can do it.
Beautiful.
We lost, but it was close, guys. It was very close.
You can do it. Time
Unless we're able to clutch this, which I don't know. If we are able to land... Nope. We lost. We lost.
So uncool. You can do it.
We're going to die by burn. Which is sad. But that was very close, guys. I'm not gonna repeat this battle anymore, but you saw how it went. Let's move on to the last one. Caitlyn. We still haven't seen Healing Super Hit and Team Healing Super Hit in action. I wish it will somehow pop out.
Do your best not to bore me.
Alright. Just give me an electric type attack.
I'm gonna give it my all.
Come on, give me an electric type attack. Spring Burgh.
All right.
Go. I got this.
All right.
Here I come.
The thing is, I'm not exactly using metronome immediately. I like to use metronome after buffing up everyone. Dragon Pulse.
Go for it. Go. I'm gonna give it my all.
All right.
Let's set up a light screen. Awesome.
Go for it.
Here goes.
Alright, come on. Give me an...
You let your guard down.
Give me an electric type attack.
Beautiful.
Rock Slide. Oh.
Go for it.
What happened? What happened? Oh, a shiny. Still do not have a shiny Cleffa yet. Come on.
Beautiful.
Come on. Electric type attack.
Leave it to me.
Thunderbolt. As if there are so many different electric type attacks. It's only Thunderbolt.
Take that. Go for it. Go for it.
Here goes.
Go. Go for it.
Beautiful.
Thunderbolt! Ah. Oh, why did I not use a sync move?
Go. Go for it.
Come on, Thunderbolt! Guys, it's very random. It's very random. Do we have the capability of extending this battle as long as we can so that we do not die and try to attempt...
Beautiful.
It's a fire type attack.
Go for it. Take that. Go for it.
I do not want to kill them now. Let me try extending this fight so that I can kind of showcase that. But I'm worried that if I do that, I'm gonna faint. Rock Slide. Nice.
Beautiful.
Come on! Just give me a Thunderbolt! Let's recover.
Yes!
Thunderbolt!
I've got this.
Yes!
Thunderbolt! Now!
Yes!
It still would not give me Thunderbolt.
Beautiful!
Guys, I don't think we'll see Thunderbolt.
Beautiful!
Nope. Sad. But anyway, if we're able to kind of use Thunderbolt, everyone will just recover HP.
That sure was a fun
So, that's that. That's the showcase. And that is why I kind of recommend them. Spring Burgh is just a little bit RNG, but if RNG works, he's awesome. And Spring May overall is just a powerful sync pair. The sad thing about Spring May is that she starts off as a normal type. You have to use a sync move first before she becomes a fighting type. It becomes a powerhouse. Spring Burgh, RNG, but RNG again. You just have to battle with RNG. But aside from that, he's amazing. Amazing as heck. And so, let me know in the comments section right now if you're actually gonna save up gems for Spring Burgh / Spring May and try to scout for them if you do not have any copies. If you already have Spring Burgh / Spring May and have them less than 3 out of 5, let me know as well if you are going to scout for him. 2 more copies or something, or at least 1 more copy for that team healing super hit. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my awesome members for the awesome support. I'll display all your names later in the end of the video. If you guys want to join them, support a good cause by clicking or tapping the join button down below. And, you know, your names will be there in my scout or skip videos as well as my gem count videos. Thank you all so much for the support these past year. And thank you for 7,800 subscribers. Let's get to 8,888 subscribers before the half of the month, the half of the year. With that said, this is Sol, also known as Spielgum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. And I will see you in the next video. Rawr.